When I was told we would be creating a memorial, my first reaction was a cancer memorial, and, as with most inspirations upon making something, mine begins with my family. When I was 14, my dad was diagnosed with skin cancer. After going through treatment for skin cancer, he then was diagnosed with breast cancer and went through an excruciating 8 months of chemotherapy. About 3 years after surviving breast cancer, my dad complained of lower back pain. After 5 months of unexpected hospital visits, kidney failure, and IVs, the doctor suggested it was multiple myeloma. He started chemotherapy for a second time. Mortality rates based on my dad's age and stage of cancer were 1 to 3 years. Well, a year and a half after diagnosis, he passed away, July 11, 2012. During this last year, he found this website, caringbridge.com, which allowed him to keep a journal for everyone to keep updates on him and find out how he's doing. Better yet, this journal gave him reason to get up each morning. It was a way for him to express his emotion. His journals towards the end of his life were written less often, and when he did write, he wrote about his inability to do the things he loved anymore. The chemotherapy made him so weak he rarely wanted to get out of bed, and his depression was felt by all of us, my family, friends, and the congregation he had served for more than 25 years. My dad felt he had no purpose in life at the end, and without a place for him to go and find hope or strength to go through chemo, he simply slept to get through the pain. What I realized from my own story is that my dad's cancer not only affected me and my family, but also the church he used to preach at and everyone he knew there. It's hard to think about, but from one cancer victim, 8 people were affected in my immediate family alone. Then there's 8 grandchildren he had, his sister, her family, our neighbors, and the 200-person congregation. All of these people were hurt by the effects of cancer. Many people, such as myself, try to find a way to remember him and the good times together. As my own way of healing, I bought this necklace and inscribed the words, "Strength, Cure, Hope," on the inside of it. And again, from my story, I realized that cancer has impacted us all. But for some reason, I realized the tremendous need for a memorial in place of healing. And when I finally began researching other cancer memorials in hopes of getting inspiration from my own memorial, these were the results from the Google search for cancer memorials. Basically, hospitals that had been donated to in honor of cancer victims were the only pieces of inspiration I could find. Plenty of money has gone into research, but no results for places cancer victims could go to for peace. After these devastating results, I decided to look elsewhere. I went to national organizations who bring awareness to cancer victims, such as Stand Up to Cancer. This organization provides merchandise to remember your loved ones, similar to the necklace I made, so I thought maybe some ideas would come from here. What I found is that the merchandise is only effective if people wear it and continue to support the cause. But without this continual awareness, cancer research loses its support. Thus, celebrities who are always in the media seem to be a perfect opportunity for awareness. But these material objects only offer awareness, and no place for reflection. Well, while researching memorials for this project, Relay for Life took place in Madison, and made me realize that this event offers an all-night experience for those affected by cancer. Thousands of students on our own campus attended. This also made me realize that a national organization with a common cause can have its own local event and still have a huge impact. One of the main parts of Relay for Life is remembering those lives that are lost. In essence, that's exactly what a memorial does. Simply taking a moment of silence can offer us a moment of peace to reflect on those we've lost. This event embraces the process of reflection, healing, and remembrance in just 12 hours. But after this event is done, then where or what do you do? Attempting to incorporate these elements of awareness on a local and national level, and having a place to go to for healing, reflection, and remembrance at any time, I decided it's impossible to pick a memorial for one type of cancer with the dozens of cancer types out there. Breast cancer with the pink ribbons may be the most recognizable, but I knew this memorial needed to be inclusive for all those affected by any cancer. Thus, with all of these different types, it seemed this memorial would have too many elements, and I knew in the back of my mind that this whole semester we've proven that simplicity is better. The Vietnam Memorial is a great example of simplicity in my mind. A wall of names, that's it. And with this wall of names, everyone is remembered. Along with simplicity in design, the Vietnam Memorial and the Washington Memorial are surrounded by beautiful naturalistic scenery. This naturalistic element furthers the ability for reflection in a memorial. Being surrounded only by trees, water, and other natural elements takes away all confusions and distractions in life and reminds us of all the beauty that surrounds us every day. Well, after all of this research and reflecting on what sort of design would fit best, I remembered this tradition where those in love would write their initials on locks, lock it to a fence, and throw away the key. What's great about this tradition is anyone can add a lock on their own time, and these locks are found all over the world. This was my final inspiration. a continuously remembered and growing memorial that people make together. I obviously need something different than a fence, and after much thinking decided that a tree, and in fact a statue of an oak tree, would last and remind us of all of the strength we would need when dealing with cancer. Also, the locks didn't really fit my plan, so I decided ribbon that could be tied around the various limbs would replace the locks. People from all over could decorate the ribbons and place them on the tree acting as leaves. The question then arose, what color of ribbon to use? Well, with so many types of cancer, placing a ribbon on the tree based on the type of cancer they had seemed to make the most sense. And if they had more than one type of cancer, you could easily tie them all together. The best part of this idea, one can visually see how many lives are affected. Now that I had my idea, I needed a starting location. And because of my own personal story, I wanted to start somewhere close by that allowed for easier access to a large group of people, both cancer victims and loved ones. Thus I chose Madison, placed on the Lakeshore Path between the hospital with the Carbone Cancer Center and the UW campus, which has thousands of students, sure to have their own personal story with cancer, such as my own. Placing my memorial on the Lakeshore Path provided a wonderful natural scenery with the water of Lake Mendota in the background that also would offer a space for reflection. Not only can those in or visiting the hospital come here as a place of healing, but those loved ones affected by cancer can come as well. Strength, cure, and hope is what I prayed for my dad, and now that he's passed away, I can do nothing more than remember him and try to find healing. This memorial, hopefully to be replicated everywhere, offers a place of healing, remembrance, reflection for those fighting, and for those loved ones who have someone they've lost. It's a place everyone can gather to find strength, cure, and most importantly, hope. Thank you.